Welcome back to another episode of Salty Spittoons TV with your commish, Cool Kid, and your co-commish, A Rojas 714. Tell them what's up.
Hey, what's up? Is a fresh new episode of Spittoons TV. Y'all boys better watch out.
Uh,
Don't
got,
call it a comeback.
got his Rockets gear on, got his Texans gear on.
I got Astros underwear, so right.
All right. Moving on. We're gonna start it off with some. I guess what are we starting off with?
No, I just want you to look at the picture more.
It's kind of sick.
It is nice.
Yeah, but we got some super accurate power rankings that have not come in. No fresh off the presses. I guess long-time strike, Drunk Rick trying to get into the playoff contention. Pappy, he's still got a chance. I'm guessing they're just hella focused.
All I'm gonna say is, I see nothing on the screen that I disagree with.
And then next up, power rankings. You got Drunk Rick going at 1, Rookie at 2, Mescal, honestly, sleeper coming in at 3. Psych! No, we did this slide just for Savage himself, just to see how far into the video it goes. But our true power rankings, you got Savage, hella climber, made some great ass trades, picked up some Lamar Jackson. He's the waiver king, I think, this season so far. I mean, picking up people like Gadsden, like Manungai, you know, I can't really see anyone that can hold Savage's jock right now. We'll have to see the rest of the season pan out, but it's kind of tough to see anyone else beat him. I mean, anything to say there with Savage? I know he was hella vocal of your particular opinion.
And we'll have more on that later slides to go. For now, I will just say, make sure to clean up your monitor. You don't want sticky keys on your keyboard tab. Other than that, we're good in the house.
Continuing on. Oh, go ahead.
Nope. It's backwards. It's all good. I was gonna say
you're good. But finally, you saw those rankings. Moving on to a special segment. I know Tony alluded to this in the chat, going over median looking glass. So I'll let you go.
Yeah. So it was a joke, but it got us thinking. You know, we texted about it afterwards. And so this has probably been a little overdue, but there's a function for those of you who don't know in Sleeper that allows you to enable league median, which is a way in some people's mind to normalize rankings, just statistically. And basically, if you're in the upper half, you get an extra win, further strengthening your win count. And then if you're in the bottom half, you get an extra loss, and that's based on your team's output, right? And so what we've done in other leagues is we've tried it out. So far, we're liking it. So I just was like, well, what if we had it this year for this league? And here are the stats, right? So basically, we went through every single week and every single manager score. And since it's a 12-team league, the median's between the 6th and the 7th ranked output that week. And we assigned people a win or a loss if you had your head-to-head, and an extra win or a loss if you were in the upper or bottom half of that, or above or below the median line, right? So what we have here is a look at 1, your current ranking. That's the first number you see, the team or manager. Then your adjusted ranking based on what it would look like with league median active, and then your adjusted record with league median on as well, right? So for example, Dav's at number 1, rightfully, and with league median, he would still be number 1, and he'd have 14 wins and 4 losses across the 9 games we've played so far. I do have an asterisk. If he played my schedule, he'd only be an 11-7, just facts. But so that's what we've got here on the board. You guys, I mean, we're not going to go through all of them one by one, but what you can see is the teams in green, playoff teams. Everybody else would miss the cut, and there's some movement here in some of these rankings. So I would actually turn it over to Commish and ask you, when you look at this, what jumps out to you? Like, what are some of the findings that you're saying, like, oh, that would be a big diversion from what it looks like today?
Yeah, just personal biases, right? Just me and you right off the bat, seeing us at 4 and
all the way up.
5. Yeah, we instead of just being what are we? I think 1 point against like the next batch of people, because I mean you have a bunch of 4 and 5s and then a couple 5 and 4s. Instead of being just one game away, we'd be what 9, 10, 11, 12. So like three, I mean at least 2 games away from number 2 and number
Taking,
3.
yeah,
Yeah, that means that I mean we've just been shit on during. We just had
straight up.
shitty ass luck. A couple of the lower teams, it looks like they kind of match, so nothing irregular there. So really, it just comes to like the medium to high teams it really affects, and then kind of like the lower medium teams. Like shit, me, you, and rookie should basically potentially be higher than what our actual record is reflecting.
Right.
Um,
And that's why if for the Lookers, rookie's at 5, he's in the playoff race if median's active. So rookie, maybe something for you to think about in your offseason voting if you want something like this active. Rick started, I want to say 0-8 when we were counting the numbers because his earlier outputs were so low, but he's really turned it on as of late, and that's why he's currently actually in the new, like the current league settings playoff format. But he wouldn't be too far out, right? He'd be 10th is actually pretty far out. Just kidding.
I mean, I guess with I mean, sticking to Rick, right? It seems like it's tougher to get out of the bottom if we had league median out. So that's kind of something to take note of.
Yes.
Right. Because really, Rick's team, I thought he was missed out at some point, right? Where it was just like, there's no way he comes back. You know what I mean? And then suddenly Mahomes goes off. You're talking about Laporta resurgent, making a comeback. I don't know who else is on, or I don't.
Well, no. Yeah. Either way, you don't have to do the whole roster.
Deep dive, right? But I mean, it's just from 7-11 to, I mean, what would 6th place be at right now? It would be an 8 and 10. So I guess it's not too far off, but I just think that I think he's closer to well, what rank would it be? 10th than he would 6th right now.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? It's like when you activate a league median, you're saying I want to magnify the results, versus when you keep it off, it's kind of like you accept a little bit of that chaos. So it's up to you guys, right? Like, do you want it on or not? That either way, the point was just to have something to look at and keep in mind for the off season if you guys want to discuss it or not. Like I said, I threw it in as a joke because I knew how my season was going, but just so you guys know,
just a heads up. And then it's not taking away from the competitiveness of this league. Like, it's still hella close.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then moving on to some notable transactions, I'll start it off with Mescal acquiring Bryce Young, a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th for next year, and Dav getting Lamar Jackson coming off that injury, and the 11th, 12th, and 13th. I'm guessing Dav just feels like he knows that he could probably get some good value pieces at the end of the draft. But basically, what I'm seeing is Dav is all in this year, and I think he made a great trade. I think his QBs were going to be a real, especially since I don't think it's here. Oh, it is. We'll get to it right now. But picking up Lamar Jackson really is going to help his team be that contender. Anything else you want to say on this first one?
We're all figuring out together how valuable these picks are or aren't. So it's hard to have a steadfast opinion on this. My knee jerk is I'm pretty, how would I say? In a super flex, all quarterbacks are important. Where and to the degree where I would rather have one of the worst quarterbacks than an average flex player at any other position, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm what I'm about to say is not to dissuade quarterbacks. What I would like to see is how different the impact is for a top 3 quarterback to a top 10, because I just wonder if this is an overpay. Because the caliber of player you can get in the 4th and 6th rounds. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I got I got my own personal
Opinion, which
opinions, but anyways, I think Lamar is the kind of player who can break fantasy with that rushing upside. So if he wins a chip, you don't care, right?
yeah,
You get that guy, and you get your dues collected for the next 5 years because you won the chip. So I would do the same. I would do right. I'm going to overpay for Lamar too. But I would I guess the reason I'm saying it that way is because I would give Mescal some credit for getting all of those picks in that deal and still getting a quarterback who, even though he's not an upper echelon quarterback by any means, but still somebody you can plug into your lineup. I think it's a savvy trade by Mescal, even though Dab does get the best asset in the deal.
I agree with that one. I will say, based on, I guess, seeing some other Savage Depth trades, I think this is one of those, like, he went to get his guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and knowing, like, I've had conversations with Mescal, and it sometimes feels like he has to be, like, you have to make it kind of obvious that you're winning in a trade. And I think these two found the happy medium for each other, where go ahead.
That's like the only person in the league who can do that deal. Like, he's got the stones to say, I'm going to give you so much value, but I'm getting my guy bucket, right?
Yeah,
Because we like Lamar. Like, me and you, we would have loved to trade for
I
Lamar.
would love Lamar. Yeah,
maybe I even had a preliminary like conversation about Lamar, but to pay that price, I'm a little more risk averse in that way that I wouldn't have done it. But time and time again, you do see Daft take those leaps, which I respect.
Next up, you want to go over that one?
Let's jump to number 3 just so we can do.
Oh yeah,
Dabs, right, and then we'll come back to the middle one. But
and then Dab also went with picking up Rashee Rice and Addison and giving away DK Metcalf and Jordan Love,
which at the time looked favorable for
Diego.
Yeah, and you just because and also you wonder too, right? Like, at the time, Dab's lineup was still not at the level it's at now, right? He's had some moves to get it to where it is now, where he's comfortably number 1. But at that point, it was a risk because Rashee wasn't going to play, and I've been lower on Addison this year than most people, than consensus. So I thought that was kind of like a downgrade too. And Rashee came back like gangbusters. Like, he didn't miss a beat. He's been a monster, and you almost kind of don't care that you gave up a quarterback in that deal the way that Rashee's playing. So yeah, I think that one has aged like, and that's
nicely. Yeah,
and that's more case too to like take your shot, right? Because everybody's scared to trade and look bad, but you can see this deal can, revisionist history can flip that thing all the way around, and now perception is totally different. Like, I say, take your shot. Like, I like how that one aged. Maybe we'll like how the Lamar one ages even more later. We'll have to see.
Like, Dab knew he didn't like Love or DK. I mean, he still wanted to get the fair value for them.
I thought you were going to say he still doesn't like them.
I mean, he still doesn't like
those guys.
But I mean, he went and got a potential high upside wide receiver 1. Like, I mean, everybody kept telling you, if he comes back, he is the wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs offense. And I mean, he's only back to what he kept doing last year. So yeah, I like it.
Last 3 weeks for DK Metcalf, he has just over 5 targets a game, and I don't know, about like 40 yards a game. Like, that's tough when you can, and when you contrast that against Rashee Rice, who, like, I'll pull up his stats real quick, but I mean, off the top of my head, I think this dude's got like double-digit targets or something.
Yeah,
nasty.
Not to shit on Diego, right? I thought Diego's team needed help, and I think he upped his floor, right?
At quarterback.
At quarterback and at wide receiver, right? I think his how many points? I'm struggling with this. Like other than the last 2 weeks, I think DK Metcalf was giving you a decent floor, and that's kind of something that Diego also needed. So yes, Savage won in that trade, but I think Diego upped whatever floor he originally had before.
I don't know. I'm and again, right? Like, I mean, it's all perception, right? But I'm still doing the internal research to determine if I care. Jordan Love is okay. This is the perfect example, right? Because like I just said, every quarterback's valuable, but are the upper ones that much more valuable than the lower ones? And right now I'm even leaning. I'm not sure that the medium ones are any better than the bottom ones. Realistically for the value output, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to get last 4 weeks for Jordan Love, 15, 11, 28, 11 points, you can't get that from Jacoby Brissett on the waivers. That's what I'm like. I don't know. I'm a little more undecided on how I feel about these quarterback tiers. Like, of course, I'm of the mind every quarterback's better than every non-quarterback, but then I'm wondering where these puzzle pieces fit as far as the degree of quarterback you get. So I think I'm just, and it's new to me too. You know, I'm not in a lot of super flex leagues, and this one we're still barely new. But that's the thing I'm keeping my eye on, and was one of the reasons, you know, transitioning to trade 2 that I wanted to get rid of Kyler or a quarterback in my wheelhouse that wasn't dart, because I wanted to play dart because of what I thought could be some variance to capitalize on. So that trade, I don't even want to read it because I feel bad about it, because I thought Kyler was healthy.
I mean, everyone did.
I thought he was. I really thought he was. Me and Trav messaged, or no, we hopped in a huddle, and he's like, Kyler's healthy, or he's like, he's all right, right? I was like, oh yeah, he came back and finished that game. He's good. He'll play next week. And it didn't happen that way, and I feel really bad about that right now.
I honestly think it's some sort of benching there. I don't believe his injury is that serious.
He's on IR now. You know, like, what if it is? Or maybe I'm negotiating with myself for my conscience.
No, but you basically traded Travis. Travis got Kyler, Dobbins, Carter, 10th and 12th, and you got Burrow, T-Mac, a 5th and a 12th.
Which, if we cut some of these pieces out, right? Like Kyler and Burrow might play at the end of December. Kyler might play at the end of December. So maybe those can be kind of like one for one. Some people like Burrow more. I'm wondering what the difference is between those degrees of quarterback. But the trade boils down to, I got Tet and Dobbins, Tet for Dobbins, and Dobbins has been a good 5-floor running back, which is exactly what he wanted. I wanted a high upside receiver, which is exactly what Tet's been. I've had some low weeks, some good weeks. And I picked up 5 rounds in the draft. We'll see how much that matters, but I don't really know what the perception of this trade was when it went down. I didn't feel like a lot of people said one way or another how they felt about it, but everybody was like, he can't get away with this collusion. And I don't know who they were talking to. I had to assume it was Trav because he got the players, like the better players, and I got the pick. What has been your change in perception on this trade since it happened to now?
I personally thought you got the stronger side of it, but that's because even before the injury, I didn't like the players themselves Just, I mean, Kyler and Dobbins, right? I liked T-Mac. I thought he was already doing well. Burrow, I mean, I'm a huge Burrow fan. The fact that he's gone, I'm just like, damn, Tony sold you sold this year. And I mean, You're dealing with the punches, and now you're getting yourself prepped for next year. And I love that you picked up that fifth. T-Mac, he's probably not doing amazingly right now. He might have a stronger second half of the season, but I do believe that he's going to have a strong season next year. I mean, though those sophomore leaves from these wide receivers, I personally liked your team or your side of this trade. And now, hindsight 2020. Now that we know Kyler's pretty much done, I mean, you win it hands down. But I don't think it was so unfair. I just think Travis is an experienced person that he experienced manager that he knows what he's doing. He's trying to make those trades where he can win now and potentially give himself opportunities in matchups to get him into the playoffs, if not the championship.
Which after that first game, we thought Carter was going to be the starting running back.
Correct. Yeah, before Bam Knight. Yeah.
Before Bam Knight, and well, DeMarcado had his explosion, but then got in trouble, and then Bam Knight had a good game, and so now it's just a jumbled mess in Arizona. But in theory, this deal was him acquiring 3 starters for 1 because he wasn't going to be able to play Burrow at any point.
Exactly.
So at the time I thought it made a lot of sense too for him, and just the Kyler and Carter piece of it kind of all fell apart. Surprising to me.
Unfortunately, the wheels fell off. It was a good trade on both y'all's ends, really. And then finally, just briefly going to touch on matchups and pick 'em, especially due to time constraints. So I'll start. I'll let you start it off. Let's do you odd, me even. You want to talk about the cool kid Jay Molly matchup?
Let me pull that bad boy up.
Yeah.
Which maybe there's a little bit of counter curse bias here. We're trying to just collect. I'm not winning my matchup. GG's drunk lick.
GG's.
Enjoy your victory. But what I really do like about Josh's team coming up this week is, of course, the high upside players like Puka Nacua and Chris Olave. But we're even going to see the emergence of Trey Henderson right now. I tried to go in and get him before his breakout game. Didn't work. He rejected my advances. I understood. He picked up Jacoby Brissett with some good foresight. I just like the way his team is constructed right now. This week, I mean, your team is also very good, but I would be worried. You've got a couple of volatile players, right? Brown, Quentin Johnston, J-Mo. I'm seeing some cues on your side with some injuries. I just think things are a little more stable this week for Josh's roster.
Yeah, the way my roster construction is, I can get 180 one week and get like a 60 the next, especially when it comes to the rest of my team with this. So it'll be interesting. I do agree with you, counter course, and I do believe Jay Money has a better team this week. The next matchup is going to be Coolero and Tex-Mex Anna. Tex-Mex Anna having quite a tumble. I think also Coolero, I think they're both kind of like on a losing streak. So this is one of those, like, we'll see who
gets
potentially right. Who gets right this week, who maybe decides, hey, should I just tank? Should I just sell off right before next week's trade deadline?
Bad news for Tex-Mex Anna too. Omari and Hampton's even further out from coming back.
Exactly. So I think we still have Tex-Mex Anna winning this just based on, I think the running backs really, we don't know if Saquon's going to be healthy. And I think that, and Ramondre Stevenson, I don't know if those two players are even going to be involved. And if that's the case, then Coulero's kind of fucked, that he's going to have to start dropping some of his main pieces, such as Musgrave, Williams, and I don't really think anyone's out there in waivers that can really help him compete against Tex-Mex. If they're healthy, then I mean, I think it's Coolero hands down. But right now, I think Tex-Mex has it. Just looking at potentially some of these players not playing. What do you have?
For drunk, so for Drunk Rick and myself, now moving on to that matchup.
Mhm.
We have Drunk Rick. I could see it being close. Don't get me wrong. We're not saying that I'm all the way out of it, but counters. But what's tough to predict on my side, and I've been trying to toy with the projections, obviously, to try to
Mhm.
catch the right streamer in the right week. With Alec Pierce and my triple tight end set, the target volume on my roster is really volatile. And this week, Drunkrick's got nice matchups. We see Pittman against Atlanta, he's been a rock star. Adams against a very bad San Francisco team, which is very surprising. So you see matchups like that on the
Mhm.
other side, and those high utilization players, the floor is there. I think you feel more comfortable. The only place where you could see a bit of discomfort is at that quarterback trying to slide Tua in. But I think everything else outweighs. So we go Drunk right here.
Yeah, I mean, good point out there. It really kind of boils down to Tua, if we're being honest. It's a rainy game. It's against Buffalo, and we both know that those Bills defense could either be it could sack
They're
the
Jekyll and
quarterback
Hyde.
every single literally could sack the quarterback every single play, or give up 300-400 yards to a quarterback. And with Tua, he could either go for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, or he can go for 100 yards and no TDs. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup for sure. Next up is Little Chubb against Travis. With that one, we have Little Chubb taking it. Overall projections just shows that Little Chubb's going to take it. I just think that Little Chubb just has the better quarterbacks. I think that's what I'm coming down to with it. I think there's a lot of pieces that could bump it. I think he's missing some players to play. I don't know who's going to he's going to play on his tight end spot. Yeah, you just have people that are missing for Travis, and he needs to figure out what he's going to do. I think he's playing Muth, and he's hoping that Muth does something, which he could easily pop off. I mean, no questions there, but I just think Little Chip has the more stronger team. Next up is Diego Rookie.
That's a tough one. I think we're going Diego here, so I'll preface all that to say we're going to go with Diego. But you wonder if Garrett Wilson's going to play this week, and if he doesn't, that's a big swing for him.
Loss, yeah.
He's the most interesting injured player in the matchups, followed by Swift on the other side. So if Swift comes back, that's an interesting thing to watch here. All that said, I'm just worried on the rookie side with Michael Penix going into this matchup against the Colts, who are on fire, and then who just picked up Sauce Gardner. So you wonder how that downstream affects the pass rush and that pressure rate on him. You're going to be something to observe. And then the running back room, Bill and Singletary going against ETN and Hall. I hate it for him. So I just think that's going to be, and again, your running back room sets the floor for your team most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just that low floor has me concerned for a rookie. So we're going with Diego this week.
And then finally, Mescal and Savage Jav. Is this the end of Mescal's resurgence?
Of all the teams to put him in the grave.
Which he won't be in the grave, but he'll definitely be a little bit like 3 feet under potentially. But I don't really see any pieces that I'm excited about with Mescal's team. I mean, they're getting him by, but not really anything that'll kind of tip the scales to where he ends up losing to Savage. Right?
It's those two matchups that are really hard to predict. It's the Browns against the Jets, who got rid of everybody. So the Browns have a bad offense, but if you're going against the worst defense, could it be a good swing week? I don't know. It's hard to predict. And then the Raiders against the Broncos, who can make anybody look bad. And the Raiders are not a great team anyway. So it's really volatile.
Yeah. But You also have Savage that has Lamar Jackson and Jameer Gibbs that are going to give you solid numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, Sav not volatile. That it's going to deliver.
Yeah.
We just wonder by how much.
And then closing it out, we usually do our Backseat Boys segment, but right now we had other things that took priority. We really enjoyed the median segment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that as well. If you guys are missing the Backseat Boys segment and you guys want more, please let us know. Hope you liked this episode. Any final closing remarks, Tony?
No, I just would double down. Well, no, and then I talk. Yes, I would just double down that if you guys miss Backseat Boys, let us know. We'll do it again. If you found the league median insight interesting, let us know that too, because I think we don't mind doing research on things like that and bringing that info to you guys. But if it's not something you're interested in, we don't have to spend the time to do it. Otherwise, like, subscribe. Hope you guys like the show. Peace.
Peace.